Welcome to week 2, Management Information Systems and Technology. For this week, we're going to explain how disruptive innovation, government policies, complementary products and services, and other factors affect how the competitive forces operate. We're also going to look at how information systems apply to competitive strategies for business. Next, we're going to look at how information systems apply to strategy for nonprofit organizations and governments. And lastly, we're going to look at the 4 hardware components of a computer, and I'll give examples of each component. A disruptive innovation is a new product or service, often springing from technological advances that has the potential to reshape an industry. For example, companies began offering digital cameras that needed no film in the 1990s, transforming the industry within a few short years. A disruptive innovation brings a radical and unexpected breakthrough that first replaces low-end products, but then rapidly overtakes even the high end of the market. Companies that cling to old models may eventually be out of business. Another example of that is Netflix and Blockbuster. Blockbuster was a company that basically rented movies, and they had just stores all around the United States renting movies. However, Netflix came about and they were actually doing it differently. They were renting movies, but they were doing it through the internet. And they were also allowing people to view movies on the internet. Well, when Netflix first came aboard, they offered Blockbuster to buy them out for $1 million. However, Blockbuster refused. And based on technology and reaching various people, more people, Netflix were able to now take over that industry and that market. See, the internet itself is the largest disruptive innovation in the last century. All the innovations it supports are transforming one industry after another. It fundamentally changes aspects of the 5 forces by reducing entry barriers for newcomers, empowering buyers with far more information about prices and competitors, and virtually eliminating switching costs for many products. Another one that we can take a look at is governmental policies and funding priorities can have dramatic effects on how industries operate and evolve. For examples, patent reduces the threat of new entrants, while low-cost loan to small business can increase that threat. Organizations frequently lobby for government action to influence how the 5 forces operate and to improve industry profitability. For example, spending on lobbying by large technology companies has more than doubled since the late 1990s. Lobbyists concentrate on regulatory policy, taxes, government subsidies, and other issues that affect the industry. For example, lobbyists for state governments have pressed Congress to level the playing field and allow them to collect sales tax when state residents buy products from online retailers like Amazon. Another one that we can take a look at is complementary services. Many industries are interrelated, and events in one can influence the structure and profitability in another. For example, desktop publishing software makes computers more useful to small businesses that save money by developing menus, signs, and brochures in-house, which in turn benefits manufacturers of business computers, printers, and specialty paper. Another one that we can take a look at is environmental events, hurricanes, snowstorms, pandemics, earthquakes, strikes, and civil unrest can all have major effects on the entire industry, sometimes without much warning. Another example will be just a hurricane, how basically some products that you can buy, survival kits, flashlights, just perishable goods that you can basically eat, canned goods, water, gas, and many people actually leaving and flying out and leaving their house to basically vacate hurricanes. So those can affect various things. Even, for example, the H1N1 flu outbreak that triggered major downturns in the global travel and tourism industry. Those are just an examples of how information systems are playing a pivotal role in how things are being done, and it can affect people in so many different ways. So now with that, let's look at some strategies for competitive advantage. Competitive advantage is measured in a couple of different ways. It's measured in cost, quality, or speed. So let's look at a couple of examples of this. So cost leadership is produce products or services at the lowest cost in the industry. Differentiation, offer different products, services, or product features. Innovation, introduce new products and services, add new features to existing products and services, or develop new ways to produce them. Operational effectiveness, improve the manner in which internal business process are executed so that a firm performs similar activities better than its rivals can. And then we have customer orientation, concentrate on making customers happy. So with that, cost leader is this: I can sell at a lower cost than you can. Differentiation, I am better because I am different. Innovation, I am doing something new and you can't catch up. Operational effectiveness, I can do the same thing more efficiently than you can. And customer oriented, I treat my customers better than you do. So those are the strategies for competitive advantage, which if you look at certain companies, they're leading in one of those areas. And as you have a business and you have a company, you want to make sure that you're doing something different than somebody else, or you're selling at a lower cost than somebody else, and you're more innovative than that company, or you're now doing the same thing more efficiently than that company, or you're treating your customers better than that other company. So that's how you can actually get people to basically buy your product and continue to have a growing and sustainable business. So let's look at a couple of other examples when we are talking about just this competitive strategy. So nonprofit organizations, although nonprofit organizations have no shareholders, they do have objectives that need strategic planning and that benefit from strategic use of information systems. Running, growing, and transforming organizations are all relevant to nonprofits just as they are to the for-profit world, and information systems play a key role. The operational requirements to run nonprofits are quite similar to businesses, with information systems used for payroll, accounting, and finance, human resources, asset management, and related tasks. Many nonprofits also need information systems to track customer transactions. Some of the most innovative strategic use of IT comes from nonprofit world. Reaching out to their constituents is fundamental to most nonprofit organizations, and IT brings tremendous capabilities to that task. Two areas that have benefited considerably from such innovations are fundraisers and volunteer management. Fundraisers, a major funding source for many non-profit is donations, and especially IT help manage this critical activity. Another one is volunteering, attracting volunteers to sustaining their attachments to the mission as essential tasks for many nonprofits. Their efforts are similar to those companies use to build customer relationships and develop employee loyalty. Governments, like nonprofits, government agencies have similar needs for information systems to run the business, handling the operational requirements that all organizations share. They must manage their payroll, budgets, procurements, assets, and inventories. Citizens expect their governments to spend taxpayer dollars wisely and provide services in a cost-effective manner. So let's look at the 4 hardware components of a computer, and I'll give you an example of each one of those and how they basically function and operate. So the 4 components of is input, output, process, and storage. With input, basically we have keyboard, mouse, we have microphone, we have scanners. With output, we have screens. Your cell phone is an output device. Your monitor, projector screen is an output device. And storage, we have various storage devices that we can store various medias and different things in there. So with that, the 4 components of a computer does input, process, output, and storage. It's just like you go into a store and you purchasing a product. After you purchase that product, when you grab that product, you go to the cash register. The cashier now uses a scan device to scan the product, which is a input device. Once that input device is scanned, it processes that information, and then now you have the output. The output comes on the screen, and then after you make the payment, now it's stored. One of the most essential things for an organization is storage. So those are the 4 components that a computer functions and operates, and hope you have a clear understanding of this, and have an excellent week, and I look forward to week 3.